What's up, you guys? Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe, Brandon Orr here. I want you guys to notice this hat real quick before I introduce our guest. It's the You Are Lovely project. You can go to the website, and all proceeds it's from Angie Ansett. She's a volunteer of ours. She's a good friend of mine, and Stephanie Mendenholz as well. Well, shoot, even Kat's. Anybody that's in recovery, really, she just wants to love the heck out of you. She has the You Are Lovely project. She does blogs on Facebook and Instagram too, is it? And Instagram. And you can go to the website and purchase her orders. She has jewelry, she has signs, she has shirts, she has hats. All the proceeds go to nonprofits. She's not making anything off of it. So I think it's important that we recognize that today, and maybe give her a shout out and check that out. It's pretty cool. I like my hat a lot. It's one of one. So don't be trying to get this one, because it ain't gonna happen. But they do have trucker style hats. They do have trucker hats, they have camo hats, they have shirts, they have all kinds of really cool stuff, so check it out. All right, without further ado, today we are joined with actually the youngest member of the Medford, Oregon Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe. And she's, look at all them hearts you're getting right there. Oh shit, somebody love you. And she has just grown exponentially. She's wonderful to have around. She's probably gonna cry because she's a Sally. She's she's also amazing, and she has an interesting story that I just think that, you know, younger viewers may actually really want to hear. Her name is Caitlin. We call her Kat. How you doing today?
I'm doing good today.
Are you nervous?
Nervous, excited. I've watched a couple of these, so it's nice to be invited to do one with you guys.
Well, it's the exact same way. I'm just glad you said yes. You know, not a lot of people say yes because they get nerves, but like, you haven't really said no to anything we've asked you to do. Like, she's pretty good about it, you guys. Look at these hearts, bro.
I know.
You are getting love, girl. So, Caitlin, how old are you?
I am 18 years old. I'll be 19 in May.
Okay. 18 years old, you guys. What? So, at 18 years old, when did you get clean?
I got clean 2 months before my 18th birthday.
So when you were 17?
19th, yeah.
What was the main cause of you wanting to get clean? Why did you decide to change your life around at 17 and really look for something different?
I think the main cause was just watching where my life was going. I think it was the first time in my addiction where I actually played the tape through the whole way, because I saw what was going on around me. I got kicked out of my house. My parents were just kind of at their end with me. Mm-hmm. My friends didn't really want to be around me anymore. I was losing excuse me, all the support in my life, and I didn't like that. I don't like feeling alone. So that's what really made me want to change, knowing that first it's getting kicked out, next it's on the street, and I'm still going to be in my addiction, struggling for who knows how long until I end up in jail or I'm dead.
I gotta say, Kat, like, I want to give you major kudos, because I'm sure 100 of us out there watching right now are not only dumbfounded but very proud that you were able to do this at such a young age. That's not easy to do. Like, I can personally remember when I was 17, turning 18 and 19, like, getting clean wasn't an option for me. I didn't even think of it. I didn't even know what recovery was. Mm-hmm. So I say this a lot, like, how fortunate are you that you can know what recovery is and have people walk alongside you, because when I was a kid, we didn't have that. That just shows us, everybody, that recovery's making leaps and bounds, you know? Like, you have support now. Who supports you?
I do. I have you and Stephanie here at Recovery Cafe. Almost just about everyone I've met and gotten close to Recovery Cafe. Angie from the You Are Lovely project. All the girls in my women's group. I have, I go to Birch Grove La Clinica, and we do like a weekly Suboxone Zoom meeting together and just talk about how that's going. I go to On Track and I get support there, just everywhere. now. It's crazy because when I first tried to jump into recovery, I thought the only thing out there was NA meetings.
Right.
And I didn't feel like I belonged there because everyone was so much older than me and had so much more clean time than me, or even using time. And I felt like I didn't deserve to be there because of that. So I'm just really happy that I found this place because it's really opened my eyes to all the supports I really do have here.
That's amazing. I want to just say, like, you're always welcome at NA. You know, I know that you felt some way about it, but there's always a chair for you at NA as well. But we are blessed that we get to call us the support system. That's amazing. Because really, without the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, I wouldn't be able to sit right here today. So you know what I mean? Like, I got to give it, like, I'm glad that you're there. So you mentioned Suboxone Zoom meetings, you said? So you're on MAT?
Yes.
How's that working for you?
It's going pretty good. I think I'm reaching technically 10 months, 8 months on it steady, 7, 8 months on it steady, and it's really been working out for me. I honestly just had a call with my doctor yesterday about maybe tapering down.
Oh, wow. Are you excited about that?
I am.
Are you scared?
I'm scared and excited because I like it, because I feel like it gives me that extra support, you know, in one way, but in other ways I also feel like it's a hassle and another crutch that I'm kind of leaning on that I want to get off of, just so I know I can 100% do it by myself. And if I don't
doubt 1 minute you can't do it 100% by yourself, girl.
Yeah.
I'll bet a week's worth of wages on it. Look at all them people up there.
I know, it's
You got
crazy.
a stack of folks up there, Kat.
I do.
Well, so I want to let you know, like, when you and your doctor decide to titrate, we're here for you for whatever struggles come, because that's more of an off-screen topic, but I just feel like I really want you to know that right now, like, out there doesn't really worry me too much, because I just love the heck out of you, and we're here for you for that. So what kind of passions do you have at 18 years old? At 18 years old, what is Kat's passion?
It's crazy because I didn't really have any passions until I got clean. Like, even before I started using, I was still drifting and not really knowing what I wanted to do in life. But now that I'm clean, I want to be a peer support, maybe a CADC, and then maybe do that for a couple years and become a mental health therapist. I think that's been kind of a goal of mine since I started therapy in like 7th grade. So I've kind of always wanted to go down that path. And then ultimate goal, seems a little far-fetched now, but I want to create a space in the Rogue Valley for teenagers struggling in addiction, because there's not many places.
What would that look like?
Go.
Do you have an idea what that would look like?
I kind of want it to be like an ARC, but just for teenagers, where we have inpatient and outpatient, we have detoxes, we have houses we can send people to, things like that.
For those of you guys that don't know, that are not from Jackson County, the ARC is the Addictions Recovery Center. They're a treatment provider, and they're a treatment center locally that we all work with out here. That's who she was talking about with the ARC. That's kind of a amazing little goal. How the heck does your little brain do that, bro? Like, what makes you want to do that? Where did that whole concept of you wanting to do that, where did that come from?
I guess it was just going through attempting to get clean at one point, but not really wanting it. You know, I wasn't ready, and even when I tried, so I say, back then, there wasn't a lot of options. Like, if I wanted to go to a detox, I'd have to go to Portland and figure a way there, and figure a way back, and figure out if insurance was going to cover it or not, and figure out if I really wanted to go to that center. It's not like you can go visit and then come back and go visit a different one, you know. It's a lot of money, a lot of time wasted, I feel like. And there's also not a lot of spaces for teenagers doing hard drugs. Like, On Track has some groups for teenagers, but it's mostly for kids that get MIPs, minor in possessions, for like marijuana. and most of the kids in there are very serious. Once they complete the class, they're going to go out and smoke weed again. You know what I mean? So
Reservation.
Exactly. So I just want something more serious for kids that are teenagers that feel like there's nothing out there for them. Because like how I said with the NA meetings, I can't imagine that I'm the only one who felt like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know for a fact there's a lot of people around my age struggling with addiction of these hard drugs in this valley right now that need help.
Right. Oh, girl, you got my heart. Like, that's it right there. I also want you guys and the viewers to know that if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that for Kat during this little session, please feel free, comment in the box right there, and Stephanie is over here typing away as you can read, and she will get us with any questions or comments you want to give to Kat. Kat, what was it like when you first walked into Recovery Cafe?
Ooh.
Oh, I remember.
It was really scary and nerve-wracking, and I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. I'd been told about it a lot from La Clinica Birch Grove. Shelly over there kept pushing it.
Shelly, it's our people.
She kept pushing it on me. She's like, you should go, you should go. And I was like, I'm not sure. But she gave me the address, and I was looking at it for a couple of weeks, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. And I walked in, and it was kind of a lot to take in because it was really busy that night. And I was like, oh, there's all these people.
It was a Tuesday, wasn't it? Yeah.
I wasn't sure exactly what to do. I saw like the check-in booth, and I just kind of walked up. Angie was there checking people in, and I was just like, hi, I'm new. And I didn't know what to do. And I just kind of sat down at a table with the women's group I'm in now. And they all just covered me in love and affection and let me know I wasn't alone, and how happy they were that I walked in, and it just felt so nice. That was like probably my first really good experience in the recovery world.
Wow. Oh man, that group of girls that you're with, you guys all know who you are. I'm sure I'm glad you got with them, because like the growth that you've had exponentially, like I say it over and over, is just, it's amazing to watch. I know that Stephanie and I, we talk, like we can't wait to see where you're at in 3 years, 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. What does the word dream mean to you? Dreams.
Dreams. I'd say a goal that you wish to accomplish one day.
When you were a kid, what was your dreams?
Dreams?
Like, who did you see yourself as? Let's talk about the 11-year-old Kat.
Okay. 11-year-old Kat. I don't think I had any specific dream. All I knew, even when I was little, was that I wanted to help people. That's all I knew. I didn't know what a therapist was back then. I didn't know anything. I just knew that I wanted to help people because it made me feel good to help people, to have my friends come to me with their problems and help them talk through it and do things like that. I've just always, I feel like I'm a better me when I put myself out there for other people.
You know, it makes me feel better. So all this talk real quick is, I'm going to back it up. So without getting too gory or a little bit, can you give us a little bit of backstory on Kat?
A little backstory. How far, I was about to say where I was born.
Sure.
Real quick. So I was born in Vallejo, California.
The Valley Joe.
Yeah, Valley Joe. Lived there for a little bit, and then me and my parents moved when I just started, like a month into my 4th grade year. We moved to Gold Hill, Oregon. And we lived in Gold Hill for about a year. That 5th grade year was kind of a tough one with me. My parents were kind of having a little bit of issues in their relationship, and we're talking about a divorce, and that kind of I don't know. It was just hard for a 5th grader to deal with. You know what I mean? So we ended up getting evicted from our house and moved in with my aunt who lives in Gold Hill. We stayed with her for a little bit, and then the end of 5th grade we moved to Medford, and with my dad's like best friend basically. He was our roommate, and we've been there ever since. So for like 6-7 years we lived in Medford, and I'm the second out of 4, the only girl, and my older brother is my half brother, so I'm my dad's oldest.
Oh, okay.
So I've always felt like I've been kind of a mom. Like my mom was there, you know, but always felt like it was my responsibility too to help take care of my brothers and make sure they're on the right track.
I think that's kind of a natural, isn't it? The big sister role, kind of feeling like the mom, like,
yeah.
you know, gave you good traits, right?
Definitely. And then, you know, we're all different kids. I was the one that was always good in school. Like I always brought home A's and B's without even trying. Like I would just soak up the knowledge and put it out on paper.
Why does that not surprise me?
So yeah, that was me. And all my brothers, most of the oldest one and the youngest one, they were never really good at school, always got in trouble with their teachers. I like was never in trouble at all. I went to the principal's office maybe once in like kindergarten, but that was it.
Right.
Like I was just not that kid. So I also felt a lot of pressure and expectations to continue getting those grades and being that person that my parents wanted me to be because they saw my potential.
Right.
I guess I just didn't see it, so I didn't understand. Like it always seemed like they were harder on me. And like now I kind of get it and see it, but at the time I didn't understand it. I thought it was really unfair. But yeah.
Bro, thank you for being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Look at her. Louder, shitty sweet.
Okay, I'll be louder. But yeah, and we've been in Medford ever since. I went to McLaughlin Middle School, and then I went to South Medford High School for my first 3 years. During my junior year is when I started getting into my addiction. So that's when I was first time I've ever skipped school. Like it was weird. It was something new to me. I started skipping school and just not coming. I'd go for like choir and like show up in the middle of the day for choir, then leave, never come back.
You can sing?
I can't sing, but I was in choir.
That we're gonna. Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, so that was happening, and just kind of didn't really care about school at all. And then my senior year, I tried to do online school for a little bit, but I was still in my addiction, so I didn't care. I only had to show up 2 days out of the week, and I still didn't do that. I still didn't do any work at home on the computer. And then got clean in March, and that's when, and then I came home in May, so I went to live at my grandpa's house for the time my parents kicked me out. So I came home the weekend before my birthday, and just I was doing some schoolwork down there, but still kind of slacking, and I just busted out my schoolwork and basically graduated in 4 months.
4 months?
Doing all the work that I missed, yeah, from Central High School.
So you graduated?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on, man.
I did that.
Yeah. So like, how is it today? First off, I want to say, thanks for getting vulnerable. Thanks for sharing that with us. That was amazing. I told you guys, she's probably gonna cry. I almost did too. When you make and set goals, how do you do it? Don't. Bro. Just So.
You're calling me out in front of all these people right now.
Well, because the reason I ask is because the reason I ask is because think about the viewer that's out there that's 16, 17, 18, 19 that doesn't have a clue on how to really make a goal or set a goal, make a goal, and accomplish a goal. So if you could tell them how you do it, maybe they could grab something and hold on to it and maybe, on their way to running one out,
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I ask. So yeah, I'm a little calling you out. Yeah, I am.
So usually what I do, once I have something that I know that I really want to do, like if it's just a passing thought, I just kind of let it go. But if it's stuck in my head for a few days and I know I really want to accomplish something, I write it down, like my main goal. I put that as like the header on a paper. And then I try and think about all the tiny little steps I have to take in order and kind of make like a checklist, like a to-do list.
To-do.
And, even just the tiniest things, like first I need to get out the computer, and then I need to go to this website, and then I need to look deeper into this. Just little stuff, one, to help keep myself accountable, and then two, so I can kind of see what progress I'm making on that paper. Once I can check something off and be like, all right, I did that today, now I gotta do this tomorrow. And that's usually how I do it.
Can you remember a goal that you set out that you accomplished besides just getting clean?
Graduating. That's something I did when I got in the mood, and I really wanted to graduate high school. So I wrote on my paper, graduate high school, and I wrote down all the assignments I had to get caught up on. I wrote down what I needed to send my teachers, what needed to be electronically, and what needed to be handed in person. If I had to write an essay, I wrote down kind of a header for each paragraph, like, all right, this paragraph's going to be about this one, and this,
right,
and this, and this. Just try to take it as slow as possible, because I'm someone who can get overwhelmed really, really easily. So making that list and trying to make it the tiniest little steps really helps me, so I don't feel like I'm doing too much at once. And if I feel like I'm overwhelmed with something, I just stop and I don't continue it at all. So I don't like that. I'm trying to get better at that. Right. So I'm trying to do it as slow as possible.
I think I just learned something. I seriously think I just learned something there, dude. Like, thank you. Seriously, like, that's really good, because like I had these goals I was set out and I tried writing them on paper, and yeah, I lost the paper.
Yep.
Pretty much, you know what I mean? And it's just like I didn't have a sticky note just to stick it somewhere. Yeah. So I learned how to mentally do it in my head, and I didn't, like I said, I wanted to do this, this, and this, but I never checkboxed anything, Stephanie, does anybody have any comments or anything?
We have a question.
Oh!
Hold up, real quick. I was going to say with that too, if I have more than one goal, I feel like I get really overwhelmed too. I think it's good to have multiple goals, but I think it's good to work on one at a time. Finish one at a time. Because every time I try to set multiples and do checklists for all of them, and I'll do one and be like, oh, but I'm not on anything with these two today, and I really need to get caught up on that, and then it doesn't
sound like my boss.
Crazy. You don't get that accomplishment, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You're rushing everything.
So proud of you. Questions from Stephanie.
Not for me, but what advice would you give young girls struggling with family challenges and pressures to use?
Oof. Okay. For me, I'd say,
Can you read that one more time?
What advice would you give young girls struggling with family challenges and pressure to use drugs or alcohol?
So I don't want to misinterpret your question. What I'm assuming you're saying is pressure to use because of family challenges.
I think it's an and.
And?
Yeah, it almost could be like two separate questions.
Okay. Family challenges. Everyone's family dynamic is different, so you just kind of got to learn what to do with your own family. something that I'm still trying to work on is communicating with mine and letting them know, like, like the pressure I've always felt, that since I was the smart kid, you know, I felt this pressure since I was little. It was always go to college, go to college, go to college. You need to go to college. You're gonna get a good job if you go to college. And that always weighed down on me because I felt like, all right, I have to do this, but I don't think I want to. And you have to set your own expectations of yourself before you let someone set those for you. You know, that's where I got really caught up, is I want to meet everyone else's expectations, but I don't know what I want from myself, and I don't know who I want to be. So I think it's important to please yourself first before you try and please the people around you.
And what was the second part?
What do you do when you feel pressured to use?
Okay. When I feel pressured to use, I'm I'm a person that uses the coping mechanism distraction a lot. If it's something like if it's just like a passing thought, and you're like, if you're trying to stay clean, you got a couple weeks or maybe a month clean, and you get that passing thought of maybe I should use again. Right when I get that thought, I change gears and I like pick up a book and I read, or I go like put on some music, I go clean something, I go on a walk. I like to do like picture walks, just walking around and taking pictures of everything I find that I think is cool and neat or pretty.
Picture walks.
You know, go on a walk and pick flowers, go pick up some rocks. Like, that's what I do. Distraction, if it's something that's kind of prolonging and you're getting this thought every day, the number one solution is to reach out. I have a lot of issue with that because I always feel like I'm bothering people when I reach out, but let me tell you, I was told this the other day. I can't remember if it's you that told me. Someone told me, when you reach out to someone, you don't only help yourself, but you're helping them too in their recovery.
Yep. So you're taking a blessing from somebody that wants to help you if you don't reach out.
Exactly.
I believe in that.
Exactly. So reach out is number one. There is always going to be someone who wants to talk to you, who wants to help you get through this. You know, don't ever feel alone, because once you start feeling alone, that's when the pressure to use becomes more and more and more.
Because you fight with yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the worst when you're up in your own head, man. You got to get out of there. Like, I've never heard of a picture walk before, but I think that I'm going to take one later with my phone fully charged and snap 100 pics and send them to Stephanie.
Yep.
'Cause that's what I do. But a picture walk, I really like that. Is there any comments or questions?
Lots of comments here. Impressive young lady. Mike Boyd.
Okay.
Says he remembers being her age with you, Brandon, and that you guys had no clue of your addiction at this point. It's amazing what you're able to grab onto.
Love you, Mikey.
It's awesome. He's from Idaho.
Yeah, he's with Maddie B right now.
Yep. And then someone said, you're way ahead of the game, girl. Got lots of love on here.
Lots of love, dude.
This one might be a little more challenging. I don't know. Advice for parents whose kids are going through the things which have challenged you.
Wow, that was really, first off, that was really well questioned. I want to say, like, that, you worded that well, because I'm confused. Say that one more time. Because the words were all there.
Sarcasm.
Yeah. No, that was good.
What advice would you give parents whose kids are struggling with the things that you've struggled with? I changed the word.
Like with my parents.
Yeah.
Communicate with your kids, man. You know, it might, because I know my parents tried to communicate with me, but, you know, I was a teenager, so I wasn't ready to open up with my feelings. They always told me it was okay to have feelings, but something in me told me it wasn't, you know? So it's just big on the communication, letting them know that you love them and that you just want the best for them.
Right.
And ultimately, it's their decision what they want to do with their life, and just let them know that you support them any way they take, any path that they choose to take.
Beautifully said, Kat. And another thing is to the parents we have to remember that there's a different generation out there. Different things are going on. They're not the same as when I was a kid. My dad used to say, I don't know why you kids can't. Well, first off, Dad, like, no, I wouldn't walk to school uphill both ways in a snowstorm with two left shoes on or whatever the hell he said. But it's like the generations are different now. You know, what they see on, we were raised at the beginning of social media. These guys are raised in the middle of social media. You know, so it's really important to really get on your children's level and really talk with them and really explore what their passions and dreams are. And if you're able to really sit down and have that conversation with them, I think that'll go miles and miles and miles ahead, because you can't expect your kid to grow up like you or be like you. It's just not what it is anymore, you know?
Exactly.
Anything else, Steph? Okay. Kat, what a privilege it is to have you here today. It's been a blessing to watch you blossom. Wow, that was kind of cool to say. And the question I'd love to ask people right before we sign off is, Kat, since you've been clean, since you've really been finding your way so far, what is your proudest moment? Every time, huh?
Well, that's hard for me. You know me, I'm like never proud of anything I do. I honestly though, right now, my proudest moment is having a job, my first job, being clean. And it feels so good, because I think this is the longest I've worked, clean or not clean. This is the longest I've had a job, and I love my job, and it's going amazing, and I'm just so proud, because I had all these, because the last couple of jobs I worked, I was in addiction, right? So I had all these feelings in my head, like, oh, I'm not good enough, they're not gonna want me, I'm gonna be a crappy worker, you know, I'm just not. And I was really scared of getting a job because of all that. I didn't want to disappoint anyone, I didn't want to disappoint myself. So I was like, if I just stay where I'm at, I can't disappoint myself. But I went out there and I did it and I applied and I couldn't be happier. Yeah.
Oh man, this went way better than I thought it was going to. I knew it was going to be good, but you seriously did such a good job today, and you were all worried about it. Well, you guys, we love you guys to death. We really do appreciate you guys signing on with us, and you know, your feedback and your comments and your questions. Those are always really good to have. Recovery Cafe, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're still doing our thing slowly but surely. We love you guys so much. We really couldn't do this without you guys. If you guys are feeling the need to pick up, reach out. Don't feel shame. Don't feel guilt. Those are normal feelings. Get outside of your comfort zone. Call somebody. Somebody out, you're somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's mom, dad, aunt, uncle. You matter. We love you guys so much. And through everything, remember, love wins. It absolutely does. So you guys know where I'm at. You guys know where I'm going to be. Stay tuned next week. We have another special guest with us. Kat, thank you so much. We love you so much. We're just so blessed. You guys, Recovery Cafe, Reclaiming Lives. We're out. Go Dodgers.